Hey, I'm doing a little update video, and I'll say this. Normally, I do try to make the videos on the channel as like high quality as possible. I have a lot of nice gear that I've been able to, purchase over the years. When I started doing video, I was just using a handy cam all the time, and then I got my first like Nikon DSLR maybe I guess 2014, maybe I got it. Maybe 2015. And then 2018, I got this Lumix GH4, which I think is still a great camera if you're into video. Like, you can get a used one for a couple $100, and especially with like a decent lens, it's a very competitive camera. And then most recently, I got a Blackmagic 6K camera, and I can't even shoot in 6K. I don't even have like the capability to even do that, but I wanted just a very powerful pro-looking cam, and the thing about that is it's enormous. It's heavy. It's bulky. It's clunky, and I have to use like a strong tripod for it, and it's a beast with batteries. It just munches through batteries. You know what I mean? Like something that just eats right through, you can make your own analogy there. It's really ripe for all kinds of imagery. But yeah, no, really, I just have to do so much to get it set up. And also it has like a pretty dinky power cable. It's like not that long. So even if I were to like, just plug it into the wall, I gotta like run extension cords for it to be worthwhile. And then, sometimes I'm at my desk, go, oh, I'll make a little update video while I'm working on stuff, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm rendering something for the second channel. I'm also working on a VHS conversion for a client. That's something I've been doing in my spare time is ripping VHS tapes. I'm actually using a stack of tapes right now in lieu of a tripod. Beth Hart Band, Boston 2000, Lollapalooza 96, Georgia TV. I don't know what Beth Hart Band is, but also it's got Melissa Ferrick, who I think is pretty cool. I got to see Melissa Ferrick play live, so I'm excited to see this because I think she's a cool guitarist and songwriter. I don't know if I have anything else worth showing over here. A lot of these are just black spine tapes that I had. One, man, I'm excited to show it. I don't know what it is. It's like a guy like driving around a property, kind of giving a tour, but it's like awkward. It almost seems like he's doing surveillance, or maybe like documenting something for a lawsuit in some way, but it also is kind of like cordial and informal, and like kind of seems like he's irritated, but also trying to be professional. It's just all these like conflicting sort of things are happening in the tape. I think it's just an awkward guy. I think that's ultimately what it is. But here, I'll show you. You can see. Oop. Okay, so there's the main setup, which I've already transferred the tape. But that goes into this capture card, which goes into the PC. And right now I'm using a program called Hybrid to take a raw AVI file and convert it into a ProRes MP4, which I will keep on file for the client, and also I will, they gave me a flash drive. Some people want like web delivery for this stuff instead, but that's like the version that is like the archival quality version basically, and then the MP4 from this gets encoded down to something that is fine for YouTube. I don't know. It's funny because like some people want like a super high quality rip, and some people are okay with something that's like pretty compressed. To me, I think it's my responsibility as someone who's trying to even like begin to get into like archival type work, and I think true like archival quality processes are something that is the result of a lot of iteration and practice and testing things and research and blah, 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 blah. So I'm really not like at like an archival level, just to be clear with my language. But I like collecting and documenting and archiving things as an amateur. And I just think part of my responsibility there is to offer the highest resolution file I can give you, Not, and that's still actually pretty low resolution, but you know what I'm trying to say. The highest, like, fidelity, I guess I should say. Resolution's not really that high at all. It's 640 by 480. Which will be familiar to some of you if you're of a certain age. Screens are so big now, it's all changed. Anyway, I've been wanting to do more update videos for the channel, but because of how my gear has been so... It's just such a commitment. I can't be spontaneous with it. And the thing, I put a camera cage on my Blackmagic camera, and it's like a protective metal cage it goes in. It's wicked heavy now. Wicked heavy. So I'm saying all that to say I've got this Handycam. I like it. I'm going to doctor the sound a little bit because I think good sound is almost more important than good video for a lot of this kind of stuff, especially things where you're mostly listening to someone talk. But I just thought it'd be easier to do more spontaneous, frequent, and in-depth update videos with the Handycam. And I'm just going off the dome right now, So I'll tell you a couple things I've been up to. So we did just put out a new video on the main channel, which was my 2024 year in review. All the top games, the games that I thought were, not quite the top dogs, but still worth talking about. Some games that are in early access, some games that got a full release in 2024. Also gave a full recap of everything that went down on the main channel, and a little bit of stuff over here on this second channel. And also talked about kind of my life and where I'm at with music and stuff, and different projects outside of the channel, some game development stuff. Jordan also is doing music, and I mentioned an EP that he's working on, and I was like, hey man, what's up with that? He's like, oh, I don't know. Basically, like, it seems like the project's in limbo, but that happens. Like, I've been in so many bands, and sometimes just like you make a recording and it's like, I don't know, where the hell is that going now? Like, what are we doing with this? It's a very like crazy thing when a band can actually get all on the same page and like get something done that like everyone feels great about. Yeah, it's magical. And as such, you need to be a powerful magician to pull it off. But I bought some Mod Podge, and I have this like table that I just have. Oh, well, I guess I'll blur that because is that nudity? I don't know if that counts as nudity. Oh, that's definitely nudity right there. Okay, well, I'll move these tissues. I'll move these tissues onto the nude bodies. I just wanted to Mod Podge this table because I thought it'd be fun. It kind of looks tacky, but it's just like a fun surface for me to use sometimes. Another project I'm in the middle of over here is, I just got these posters in for my band. This is a 13-inch by 19-inch poster. It's pretty big. It's on nice, heavy paper. And it says Austin and the In-Laws. And now, forgive me, I'm unable to remember the name of this artist that we commissioned off the top of my head. I'm not good with names, especially for people who I've never actually met. But I really like his work, and he has done some of the like Steam art for, I think he did like Steam art for Keep Driving. But he's done a bunch of other stuff. He's an illustrator, and yeah, we asked him to do a design for us, and then we kind of used this for some merchandise, and then eventually adapted it into this poster. I don't smoke. I just have an ashtray for like joints and when people come over. This is my to-do list right now. I also just got this is a big-ass whiteboard that I'm going to put on this door. Sorry, the kittens are going to go away. So I'll put this on this door, and this is... I can't really show even the full scope of the size of this thing, but it's going to kind of be my plot board for the game I'm writing. I'm having a hard time keeping my notes straight with my current tools, and I tried to use some like digital solutions for like story building and note taking, but I just got to put it on paper. I got the Batman Nosferatu. This is pretty good. Ted McKeever, cool artist, right? Yeah, so this is a project I'm working on, which is in disarray right now. But I've got this enormous flyer collection. I've got like 6 binders just packed with flyers from shows from like the past, I don't know, I guess 2007 or 2005 might be my earliest ones. But I had them all in these like plastic sleeves, just because I like to look through the binders and just look at flyer art. I don't know, I think it's cool. But after I got so many and was collecting for so long, I was like, damn, it makes sense to like eventually attempt to put this in chronological order. Well, that's a pain because almost nobody puts the year on their flyers. So what I have to do is, I mean, the system I've developed, I'm not saying this is what I have to do, but this is what I've come to. I'm basically I'm going Saturday, October 15th. I'm typing that into Google, and then I click on a website called Date and Time, and it tells me all of the years in which there's been a Saturday, October 15th. And from there, I then put in one of these folders with the year on the front. Ooh, lots in the 2012 folder. That was a busy year for shows. That's a really funny one. Free show. Smiley face. Tonight at the Hookah Bar. This is another really funny one to me. 2012. Gilligan's Hideaway. I think that place is... I think it burned down. Anyway, it's a bit of a pain, but also for someone who's like as obsessive as I am, it's like a fun project. And I don't know, I think it's neat to look at how these things have changed through the years. Now obviously this is just, you know, from my region. I made a lot of these flyers, but not all of them. There's maybe half or more that I didn't make. But I've booked a lot of shows, which is something I talked about in the in the main channel video, the last update video, the 2024 year in review. Anyway, this is another big thing that I'll be finishing eventually. Who knows when? I'm taking it very easy. There's so many here. House show. Ooh, this is a movie showing. I love that he got the highlighters out and did it, DIY like that. We got an LGBTQ potluck and a Know Your Rights workshop. An open mic with I don't know who that character is. I like it though. Oh, it was hosted by Dave Fox. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. He sadly has passed away, but it's cool to see his art there. More jacked art that we're just taking. Oh, this is a funny one. Kind of funny. It's really mostly just stupid. This is a good one. It's a metal show, and they just put Beavis and Butthead there. That was a local metal band. I don't think they're together anymore. I don't think any of these bands are together anymore, except this guy still does a lot, because he is a solo artist. Yeah, anyway. There's a bunch. Biscuit Miller in the mix? Wow. Can you believe it? So, that's one other project. Another big project, like I mentioned before, is the VHS transfers. You can see I've got a bunch of tapes just kind of in different piles. And in different piles. I've got my drums, but I haven't been able to play drums in a minute because I don't have my drum throne. And I'm realizing something right now. I think my lens is filthy. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's something charming about this. I'm showing a lot of my office right now. But I like this kind of handy cam stuff. This is another thing, because I can just go, oh, here's something I've been wanting to talk about, but, you know, it was a pain to get the camera all set up. This is a digital, I guess this is, what is an 8-track? And can't get it to boot right. I wish somebody could help me fix this. It'd be a neat project. But I am... Oh, hold on. Ooh, a dowel. So, this is something that I've been using on and off, but I want to put it as a more permanent part of a rig where I'm recording from here into this Tascam 4-track, which I got to get a little more cleaned up. But I've got some just cool analog equipment here that I'm hoping to get into using more regularly. Like, I use it, but not all together, because I haven't like stopped to like set up like a really cool functional space, because I do a lot of stuff into this machine, which is my audio interface. And I do the tape deck stuff, and sometimes I use this small mixer. But this will be the other kind of main project after a little while. Too many little things to work on. I kind of bounce around from thing to thing. You can see why, you know, maybe certain projects from Hidden Machine that I've mentioned in the past, I go, oh yeah, I'm doing a video on that topic. Why they haven't come together as quickly is because I can't stop bouncing around. Oh well. So, anyway, that's done. I was just kind of trying to talk for a little bit, give a little bit of an update on various things going on outside of the channel, talking about some of this other stuff. So, this is more of like a life update. And also, well, not really, not real life. You know, there's a lot more to my life than what's on the camera. This is more of a creative update. I am like super whipped today from shoveling snow. We had like a really intense snowfall, like several feet of snow, and it was like very hard packed snow, very heavy snow. Haven't shoveled in a while. It's been a long time, actually. I haven't really needed to shovel because I rent, and you know, the landlord or the owner of the property is usually responsible for doing that. And here, you know, our landlord will do that, but also, like, we're renting from a friend, and it's not like if we get to it before he gets to it, like, we're going to be sour about it. You know what I'm trying to say? But we had to go, my wife and I had to go uptown and buy a second snow shovel because we only own one, and we got a curved one, or, you know, they have like a kink in them. They're supposedly more ergonomic. It definitely felt better to use. It was easier, like with the weight distribution of the heavier snow. And also it was interesting to kind of like feel it and like understand like what like a good stance was for efficient shoveling that wasn't going to kill your back. But also, like, I did just wreck my back because I was using the shitty shovel at first because we had to get shoveled out to go buy the new shovel. And I'm, like, just really feeling it today. But it's okay, you know? Hopefully that's a net positive for my body and not a negative, even if I am a little sore today. I would say more than a little sore. But it's not making me miserable, so I'm grateful for that. Anyway, I might have a few more things I want to mention, so we'll see. I'll stop here, and again, I'm just going off the dome, just trying to give a little update on all creative stuff. I guess I should say what's going on with the channel. I'm about to dump the footage from our most recent Yeah, I've Played recording, which was on mouthwashing. It was a really great game. Excited to share our experiences with it. We also covered how fish is made. I'm still working on several big Remedy videos, but they're just like, I'm doing it real piecemeal because like as I research one thing, it informs my research on another thing, and it's really hard to like play one Remedy game at a time and not start thinking about all the other stories. I really have a hard time slowing down with games anyway. Like I dabble in dozens of games a week. I try new games constantly. And some I stick with and a lot I don't, but I try to sample for, between 15 and 45 minutes, I'd say. If I know sometimes about 15 minutes if a game is just not going to be for me. Sometimes there's just mechanics that I know, even if the game is doing it well, I know that I'm not someone who either enjoys that genre or someone who, I guess really just, I don't enjoy the genre. It's not that it's beyond me, like, it's not like I couldn't learn a new thing if it's like a complex strategy game or like a really hard Souls-like. I can get good, but sometimes I was just like, nah. You ever go like, meh? It's 15 minutes does seem harsh, but also like, that's again, it's just my own personal thing. I'm not like reviewing these games professionally or anything, even if I do have a channel where I have reviewed games semi-professionally, because we've also gotten revenue from the review videos. But still, I wouldn't review any game that I hadn't played for a very significant amount of time. A 15-minute thing I wouldn't give a real review to without a big old asterisk. Anyway, speaking of reviews, next week will be the Steam Next Fest, and I'll be doing as many demos as I can. I'm setting aside like 1 or 2 days to do longer streams, which I'm really looking forward to. I just have a lot of fun checking out the new demos. Even though some demos were released like before the Next Fest, they're just kind of in Next Fest. It's just very cool to me. To me, like, Next Fest is what I imagined E3 to be like. Does that make sense? It's like, as a kid, like, I've been able to see videos of E3, but like as a kid, all you ever saw, unless you lived in like Canada where maybe like Electric Playground was playing on TV, but like a lot of people, yeah, I'm trying to think. There were some areas that had regional shows that covered video games and pop culture, but on like basic broadcast television, there really wasn't much of a video games presence in a lot of the 90s, like outside of like animated adaptations or something, I'm sure those shows were on public access or on cable channels or local affiliates, around the country. But I've seen a couple shows from Canada that kind of cover that sort of stuff. Anyway, what I'm getting at is you only ever really saw still photos of E3. And it was always like, whoa, screenshots of a new game, or like, eventually it was like, oh, booth babes. That was the other big part. But, it just seemed like, wow, a place where you can go and just play all the new games before they're out, and you get to like, it's like a buffet of new games. That's what Next Fest is like for me. I think it's so sick. So, mixed feelings on Steam and their sort of monopoly almost on digital distribution of video games, of PC games. But also, man, the Next Fest is quite exciting, and I don't think you would get something like that from a smaller outlet. I mean, there are similar festivals on itch and other platforms sometimes, but sometimes those are game jams and things like that, or sometimes they're more like, here's a bunch of horror games, or here's a bunch of boomer shooters, all kind of packaged together in a presentation. But the Next Fest is just like so fucking cool to me. Yeah, maybe you know what I mean. Anyway, that was everything I wanted to say. So no part 2. And hey, thanks for listening. All right, so I'm going to be doing update videos more often. If you thought that this was absolutely terrible, then maybe the updates aren't for you. But if you thought this was all right, expect more. Goodbye.